This is Justin AMZN on a Friday, November 23rd, 2018. And we're looking at what happened today. Had a nice consolidation, pre-market into some indecision candle, then a, let's see, is this lows at 15.13? So this is a tweezer bottom that happened just before the market opened, and then it just ran up, had a really strong open, and that was the strongest thing that happened bullish today. I was too late to buy this price, but look at that, the low at 15.14.24, and our line here at 15.14, and it should be highlighting, and it's not, 15.14. So pretty close to that. I did not buy off that. That would have been nice. I was shorting it up here because it came right up into the 15.34 price and reversed. Like, it was 24 cents off of this line, and it was 1 penny off of the line, or not the line, sorry, the level, because I didn't redraw a line at 15.34. Pushed slightly above it here, and came back up to it again here, and almost to it again here. And any of these candles, any of these wicks up would have been a great place to get in bearish. And I was doing that on one of them in here, and just rode this back down for an R. Unfortunately, only that much. I got into the 1500 put up here for like $1 and sold it at 2 and got a nice fill at 99 cents and exited. I think it exited at 225 or something like that, 227 something. But it just lost a whole bunch of premium through here. The better option would have been the 1525 put, and we'll take a look at that. The market closed early today at noon Central. And so all the premium that we usually have all day to suck out of this thing dropped 2 hours earlier. And because of that, it couldn't get anything going with the 1500 put. I mean, even with this big move, there was nothing happening. But anyway, yeah, we just consolidated sideways, broke down, retested, had a nice inverted hammer here, another one here, and then just broke down. And this, I wasn't even watching this. Once I got my R, I was back to just doing regular life stuff. So this was just seeing it, looking back at this, like, yeah, that would have been really nice to get in bearish on this. And if we take a look over, so this is the 1525 call, missed buying here, and then all day long, it just lost all of its value. This is the 1525 put. Some opportunities to buy down here at like 5 or 6. And another one here. This was that reversal, that hammer at 10.15, 10.20. So that was 10.15. No, I got the wrong time. 10.15, 10.20. That was way up here. What is this time? I'm looking at the wrong time. Maybe this. 15. Okay, that was 11.15. Interesting. 11.15 is when it pulled back again. Oops, right here. So the last hour of the day, yeah, that would have been hard too. So the low there was 10.10. Looking at this, you could have been getting in at like 6 and getting out at 10 and buying at 6, almost 6, and getting out at 10, and then I don't know why you would have been buying at 10 other than those candles. Probably the 1525 would not be the strike to use then. Maybe the 1515. Let's see what this one did today. We'll just look at this portion of the day. So put in some lows around 2, 3. Yeah, could have bought at 3, stop at 2. That moved up to 6, 3 by 2. Bought in again here, 3 by 2. Would have been at break even. Would have gone there, get up to 6, and then 3 by 2 to get there. Oh, it did touch 3. Get out at 6. So multiple times, buy at 3, get out at 6, buy at 3, get out at 6, buy at 3, get out at 6. And again, there wouldn't have been any reason to know, hey, just hold that till it gets to the close of the day. Get out at 13. Nothing telling you to hold on for that. Just repeating the trade with the options. But that's the kind of option I like to see on a day like this, where it's just going down on expiration Friday. where the lows of the option stay pretty steady. And it's a great place to buy off of. And then you got to determine what your target is going to be throughout the day. It didn't make it anywhere near the $10 range. Probably when it ran up to this and put in a high here and then pulled back, that's a point where if I was still just holding that, probably tighten up a stop to break even and then set my target at the level that it just made it up to or a little bit below it. And so I probably would not have been exiting here. Probably would have been exiting here when it got back up to like 6 or 7, probably 6. All the while it moved through here. If that's something I would have been watching, I mean that that does mean you're watching the trade unfold, and who's got time for that? So, but that would have been a move through here where it went from buying at 3 and exiting at 6. That would have been nice. So, and then repeating it as it does it, multiple times with the 15-15. The reason I would go with 15-15 is it's right by this line. The 15-10 we can go take a look at and see how that would trade. But my guess is that it wasn't trading as solidly. Yeah, it made some lows later in the day. Yeah, so the initial low didn't really stay steady. It actually pulled back a little bit further. But you still could have done 2 by 1. It's just when you're already buying at 2 and the stop at 1, it feels really silly when it gets down to 1 or close to 1. It's like you're still just holding. Like for what? What? Like just to be stopped out at 1 and then for it to do something like this and move back up to 3. Yeah, I mean that's only an R. So it's like you're down an R, up an R. It's pretty easy just to kind of waffle through that range, and then this kind of setup here where it's just sideways for half an hour. Again, there's nothing really saying, hey, yeah, get in here. This is where it made the stronger hammer, inverted hammer at 11:15, 11:20 on the 5-minute chart of the stock, but the option didn't even do anything for 30 minutes of that. And then it started to move. So the last 15 minutes of the day is where it actually was getting, the 15-10 was getting into the money. And that's when it's like, oh, we got to put some premium back in this. That's my imitation of what the market makers are thinking on expiration Friday. But it's really just the algorithm, whatever it is that handles all the price movement of the options. It's a lot easier just letting this ride between $1 and $2, really, or I guess a little bit wider than that, and then to let it spike all the way up to 9 into the close. The theoretical option price didn't load on this one. Not sure why, but sometimes let's see, let me go back to this one. No, it's not either. Was it the 25? I had the theoretical price on here somewhere. Anyway, there were opportunities to get in on some of these lows. These candles in here were wider than $1. Would have been harder to trade them. Let's see, 15-20. Do we get some hammers that were less than $1? That's a nice small candle there. That's 85 cents. That's doable. Trading that with a just a bracket around this candle. And then a pullback back into the same level there. That would have been nice. That's the 15-20. But again, you're looking at, kind of not the regular strikes. I mean, 15-20 is a regular strike. I'm just thinking through, if we look at the options. There we go. So it's every $2.50. And I like sticking with the zeros, 25, 50, and 75, just for, the throughout the week. Fridays is the one day that you kind of start to look at, okay, what else would really help, to really pick a different strike. So 1525, we move through it and back, up through it and then down through it again. The 1500 that I made my trade on, did I even look at that one? No, of course not. I talked about it. Okay. So I bought at $1. I think I got filled here. Got filled for $1. on this candle, maybe this one. I think this one, and did an absolute zero. So bought it one stop or no stop, and then I had a target at 5, thinking it could reverse quickly and come all the way back up to this level. And then when I saw that it was just barely inching up on the option, and the stock was kind of hovering in this, not hovering, sorry. It was gently dropping. It's like, yeah, I need to get out. And I got out in here, one of these candles, I moved down, like, all right, I'm just going to exit at 2. I got an R, that works. And then I saw this candle, this bullish engulfing. It's like, okay, it could just bounce off this line again. And it did. It just stayed above it for the next couple hours. And all that time, look what happened to this put. It came back down to $1, then bounced, went back up to 2, and then came back down to $1, and then just dropped below it all the while here. And then when this finally broke at 1050, yeah, so right here, we're at 50 cents through all this, and then don't even get back up to $1. So had I just held it, I would have been losing at this point, after 10 o'clock, and then never getting back to break even. And then it's like you're just holding on for hope that it's going to get above, or you can get out at $1 again, and instead you just hold into the into expiration and lose an R. That's what I used to do. I try not to do that anymore. And so now it's like, okay, just be aggressive on a Friday. Get in, get out, be done. And that worked today. Got an R. Happy with that. Virtually, obviously. That's what I've been doing. And there was better ways to play this today. So I was happy with an R. But looking back at it, I'm learning that, hey, I should have gone with a different strike. Should have gone with the 1525, put up a little bit more premium to begin with. Even one of these other strikes, I don't even know what to call them, the 10s or the 5s or whatever it is, go with a different strike that, would have been something else to have a nice tight stop and get a little more gain. But also, it's a short day after a holiday. I mean, reset your expectations that maybe a lot's not going to happen. If we zoom out, we're still way below this triangle. We ran down. We're still in this phase of kind of this S curve where we're kind of bouncing up a little bit. But look at this is. This is a shoulder, a head, and a shoulder. We got a neckline in here around 1500. It's also a consolidation with some lower highs. I mean, if I continue this, let me. That's what we bumped into today. Here, you know what? Forget that. Let me right click and extend to the right. Okay, the same line I drew back a few days ago. So this same line that I drew, did I draw that last Friday? I did draw that on Friday. Okay, so this that I drew on Friday, this triangle, I just extended that to the right. Look what that touches. Look what that hits. It hits yesterday's. Sorry. Oh my gosh. I didn't even notice this. So it hits Wednesday's high. Okay. Right at 1550. I mean, that's crazy. And then that's right where we're dancing today. And I'm shorting it up when it gets above it here, looking for it to reverse. I mean, it hit it yesterday, hit it again today. I can't believe I didn't even extend that to look at it. All right, we're going to leave that extended for a little bit and see how well that tracks. That's insane. I can't believe I didn't even notice that yesterday. It looks funny on the daily because you got to have the extended hours on. It doesn't work on the daily, but we'll look at it a couple more days, maybe Monday, Tuesday, and see what's going on here. But wow. That's why I like having the extended hours on. When you start drawing some things like this, somehow the time frames just kind of work with it. And then if you switch to a different time frame, and you'd have to redraw it, and it may not fit as well, but sometimes something else fits better. But I mean, I didn't even have this on, and I was saying yesterday was, or Wednesday was just kind of a sideways day. Hard to know what levels to be at. But I mean, now I turn this on, I should have been shorting right there at that high. So my bad for that. The other perspective is this looks like a shoulder. I had another shoulder and another shoulder again, maybe. Just kind of saying that this looks like a neckline here. So 1540 looks like a neckline. Sorry, 1541. Where are we at? 1540, 45. That looks like a neckline. Inverted head and shoulders, and then the 1500 looks like a neckline for bearish head and shoulder, or regular head and shoulders to go bearish. So the last time we got one of these, I'm seeing one over here, kind of a shoulder, a head, and a shoulder, and then we broke down. This triangle, like this range in here. Well, no, a little bit more here. Kind of this range. No, not even that. Sorry, I'm reevaluating as I'm looking at it. Okay, this triangle right here. Right there, that triangle, to me looks similar to this triangle. Obviously, it's another triangle. We made a low here, and then this one's kind of stayed steady. Let's see if I copy this line and paste it. No, can I duplicate? Hey, there we go. Okay. Does any of this fit? I guess maybe this fits. That angle. Spin to the right. Okay, maybe if I grab the low here. So I'm just grabbing the same angle here. It's a little bigger triangle here. Came down a little lower, which we know it dropped pretty quickly. It's not holding this. And then I'm just grabbing today's close, which, I mean, the close actually happened here, so maybe that doesn't work as well. If we put this in here, get below it, double bottom, get above, breakdown after hours, retest to that point. I don't know. It's interesting to see what happens. So that one's not as solid for me. I'm going to leave that one off. I'm going to leave this here for right now, and then we'll see what happens on Monday, if we can get above this or if we're just going to continue to drift lower. What I do like about the daily here is we had these two bullish candles that were inside. This was inside candle, and then we had a gap down. These two, they're just two kind of resting candles. I mean, it is rolling over still. It's pulling back a little bit. This was a bullish retest gap up here. We've pulled back. We're retesting. Didn't quite get down to this low or to this close, but it's a bit of a rest. We're just riding the 5 exponential right now. Let's see. The last time we did that with 2 bearish candles in a row, probably up here, and we had just crossed over the 5 and the 21. So then again, maybe here with the bullish retest, or that was a bullish gap and go. So we've obviously been much further down from there. Just looking for other things that could be similar to what we're seeing. Gap up. These are all up. No, not much else. So it'd be great to consolidate in here. A couple more days. We'll see what happens on Monday. Fundamentally, we should have, some financial news in terms of how much all the different retailers made over Thanksgiving weekend, Black Friday, all those things. And Amazon is a big player in that. So we'll see if the fundamental reasons of it just being Santa rally, Black Friday, lots of shopping, retail, all of that happening, if that's going to make people think, oh, this is a nice pullback, let's get in and start to buy it up. Or if the technicals and this still being so bearish is going to kind of make it look like it's going to continue down. I mean, we're still making lower lows, lower highs. So we got to change something there if it's going to move. And one candle can change it. I mean, if we get A gap up on Monday up above 1550. That's going to be trapping all these people here, and it has the potential to make it go higher. This is more so what I'd like to see go sideways for a few days. We have a candle down here like this. Not to say it's indecision. It doesn't look like this, but bullish. This candle is bullish, and then a slight pullback from there, and then went sideways for a few days. So if we can get that kind of thing where we're bullish from this candle, and then a slight pullback, and then if we can be bullish, have a little bit or sideways, and get some bullish candles in here, just to build some momentum or just consolidate some along here. Then to see what's going to happen when we break that. It'd be great if we can get the 21 a little bit lower, because right now we are extended. If the 21 can come down a little lower, or if we can move up to it, that'd be a move into 1600. And then consolidate there. That's the other thing it'd be nice to see. But if we just race up out of this, to me it just feels like maybe it's going to have another leg down if it does that. It's like too soon for it to rally that hard. So we needed to before. We had this kind of rally, this this S curve up, and then came up to this indecision. I don't know if this is the start of something like that or not, but hopefully I'm giving you some different perspectives, and we zoom back into then the 5 minute to see, hey, let's just look at this and see here's some known level of 1534. Here's our lines to play it by, and pretty easily could have gone from here to here, knowing there was resistance here. Go from this line to this line with one of the options that it's going to cross potentially. That's 1525, 1520, possibly 1515. And just make that your trade, and just take a piece of this, a little chunk of this move, and do that kind of thing every day. I mean, if I had done, a move from 1528 to 1514 today, and then I'd done a move from 1540.45 down to 1528 yesterday, or on Wednesday, I mean, that would have been great for the week, and then look at the previous day, what could I have done buying down here and just held on to, it's like, okay, each day we've got enough that we're reviewing that you could have found one thing to trade. And even if you lost an hour, one of those, you could assess what you did and get it back the next day. So I hope this makes sense. Hope this is something you're thankful for. And throw me a like and a subscription if this is something you want to continue to see. Hope you enjoyed your Thanksgiving. This is Justin AMZN. Thanks.